I agree with Alex in terms of, and Neil actually, about, I don't know what Paul Pogba quite is. He makes bad decisions as a midfield player, bad basic decisions, and then he does something really fantastic. And I can imagine that wrecking Jose Mourinho's head, because he's going, well, I want you in my team for that fantastic stuff, but then there's other stuff that's really not good for the team. So Mourinho's only way to deal with it is to, well, what he did, he tried to shock him and embarrass him out of it, and said, well, I'm going to call you out, a few times mid-season. And I'm not sure Pogba got the point. That's my worry. I'm not sure he got the point, because I still see him making those decisions, the slightly bad ones.
And you'll see it from from the absolute insight, having played in exactly the same position.
Yeah, and Paul Pogba is naturally more talented than I was. I mean, in the box I could get there and I worked hard to score goals, but in terms of attributes, he'd have run all over me. He's got better feet in terms of how he can dribble with it. But there's no point in dribbling in your own half as a midfield player, unless you really have to get out of trouble. So all that kind of flick and roll of the studs and all that stuff looks great. I'm not a big advocate for that. And you see a lot of young players go, oh my God, look at that on YouTube, it's amazing. And I don't like it. And he has delved to that side too much. And I just know that if he was to actually catch the drift of what Mourinho's trying, I feel that he could actually be that player. His numbers are not good enough. Juventus, I think we've built up this kind of thing, this real magical thing that Pogba was amazing at Juventus. I don't know how many of us watch Italian football, if we're honest, not that much of it. And I think he did well there and he progressed. But there's another progression he has to do. I played under managers I didn't particularly like. Most of them I did like, a few I did like. A few that I did like, you can probably guess. But you put it to the side. Do you know what I mean? Especially when you're talking to the media, because unfortunately, and as much as you lot would like to think that we tell you the truth all the time, sometimes you tell a version of the truth that works at that moment.
The acceptable.
Yeah, the acceptable truth. And generally people do try and be honest, but going into a big game, there's nothing worse than giving off an impression that there's a real problem in the place, because that does rub off.